Imagine you get rejected from every dream job you applied to, so you embarrass yourself by moving back in with your parents and take a mundane part-time job packing orders. Except at least you have your health, right? Wrong, because your jaw joints have been degenerating for years and have gotten so bad you couldn't open your mouth. So you get a surgery and try PT and nothing works. But after all that time on Reddit forums and Facebook support groups, you realize you're not the only one, and maybe there's actually an opportunity here. So after you finish work, you stay up late working on a new product idea, a portable heated massager designed for the jaw. Except you just can't get past the fact that launching a physical product usually takes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, you just graduated college with $10,000 to your name, on top of which you've never even designed a circuit board before, let alone an entire product people would pay for. So you start slow, you watch YouTube videos, spend months designing your first PCB, then your second, then your third, feeling like a failure again and again. You expected 3D printing the physical design would be easy as a mechanical engineer, except every single problem you try to solve reveals 5 more, spiraling into hundreds of failed prints. But at some point, you get something that's good enough, so you start DMing people on Instagram and posting on those jaw paint support groups. You even buy 100 followers so you don't look like a bot account, which after 2 weeks gets you your first pre-order, the milestone you pick to quit your job to go full-time to try to grow the business. So you move to a new city with your girlfriend, buy a 3D printer, components to build 100 devices, and start texting everyone you've ever known to launch a crowdfunding campaign, which to your amazement raised $12,000 and sold out of your first batch. But things were only going to get harder from here, because you learned that selling 100 products is very different than selling 500 or 1,000. The design you just sold out of is riddled with bugs and inefficiencies that ruin any chance you have of scaling the business. So you redesign every nook and cranny of the pen. But then you realize you haven't even gotten the design certified, so you redesign it again. All that to learn that when you run your printers at max capacity, the prints keep failing. And then the dimensions get messed up, so the vibration motor keeps rattling. And then the customer complaints start rolling in, so you redesign again and again and again, to the point where you had 1 month left before you need to moosh off your girlfriend for rent. So you buy components for a batch of 500 and watch a YouTube video to try to figure out Facebook ads, which turn out to be a lot easier than you expected thanks to the fact that you started posting every single day and got pretty good at making videos. So slow and steady, batch size becomes 1,000, then 2,000. But cracks were starting to show again. You started spending more and more time assembling products, maintaining printers, and packing orders. There was no way to grow the business anymore. So you use your network to find a warehouse that can replicate exactly what you do, except more of it. Because honestly, you're just tired of having to redesign everything. For once, you just want to scale sales. So you move out of your apartment, set up in the warehouse, and spend the next 2 weeks training the crap out of them. You even hired people to run your ads so you could move to your dream city and watch sales go higher than you could have ever imagined when you got that first pre-order. But now you're kind of tired because you just climbed a mountain that's been your dream for decades, and you're realizing there's actually still an entire mountain range ahead of you left to explore. And you're tired of doing it alone, so follow if you were able to